Duterte, who is embroiled in a feud with President Ferdinand Marcos, was impeached last year, only to see the country's Supreme Court throw the case out over procedural issues. Her announcement comes just days before her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, begins a pre-trial hearing at the International Criminal Court at the Netherlands over crimes against humanity, allegedly committed as part of a brutal crackdown on drugs. You're listening to RTHK. Time now has come. It's horses for courses this lunar new year, as the Jockey Club is all fired up to make the most of an animal on which so much of its fortunes ride on. That has seen it launch a year-long campaign as a community celebration of the Year of the Horse. It also doubles up as a tourist attraction and a platform to promote horse-related and community sports development. Speaking on RTHK's Bat Chat program, Caroline Emery, manager of public affairs of the club, says the campaign features a wide array of cultural, family and community events.
The idea behind this campaign is to celebrate that profound bond between horses and humans, and the special role of the horse in both Chinese culture and Hong Kong's own history. So the campaign was launched in January, and it's going to span the whole year. It includes major race days, international equestrian spectacles, and a whole series of cultural, sporting and family events.
The Jockey Club's Year of the Horse race day will take place tomorrow at Sha Tin Racecourse. Overseas again, the video sharing site YouTube reported a widespread outage overnight affecting hundreds of thousands of users around the world. The tracking website Down Detector reported over 300,000 reports of problems from its user base. YouTube later said an issue with its recommendation system prevented videos from appearing across services on its site. During the worst of the outage, visitors to the website's homepage were greeted with an invitation to come back later. Google-owned YouTube is the world's largest video sharing platform, with over 2.5 billion users actively using the site each month. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says the second round of indirect talks between Iran and the United States was held in a more constructive atmosphere in Geneva compared with the previous round in Oman. Mr. Araghchi was speaking following the conclusion of the Oman-mediated nuclear negotiations between the delegations of Iran and the US at Oman's embassy in the Swiss city.
Iran has consistently pursued a strategy aimed at the peaceful use of nuclear energy, while demonstrating readiness to address any concerns regarding the nature of its nuclear program and to ensure its exclusively peaceful character. It was on this basis that Iran entered into nuclear negotiations and has continued until very today. A review of the course of these negotiations speaks volumes. The Islamic Republic of Iran has consistently affirmed that it neither seeks to manufacture nor to acquire nuclear weapons, which have no place whatsoever in Iran's national security doctrine.
Tributes have been pouring in from around the world for American civil rights activist, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who's died at the age of 84. He was one of the United States' most influential black voices. A Baptist minister, Mr. Jackson had been a civil rights leader since the 1960s, when he marched with Martin Luther King Jr. One man paid tribute was another prominent civil rights leader in the U.S., the Reverend Al Sharpton.
He literally changed American politics, New York politics, and kept the civil rights movement going, and then raised some of us that have been at the forefront in the first part of the 21st century to do what we do. And he's been there with us. When we did George Floyd, he was right there at the church with us when I did the eulogy. He was there with us with Trayvon Martin. He never stopped. I once said to him, "You already in history. You've gotten all the honors. Why do you keep going?" He said, "I never learned how to retire."
In sports, Real Madrid drew first blood against Benfica in the first leg of their Champions League playoff tie in Portugal. Todd Harding has a roundup of that match and other games played in Europe's top-tier competition last night.
Vinicius Junior scored a sensational goal to earn Real Madrid a 1-0 victory at Portugal's Benfica, although the match was marred by apparent racist abuse aimed at the Brazilian. After curling the ball into the top corner in the 50th minute, Vinicius seemed to argue with Gianluca Prestiani, after which he complained to the referee, who halted the match for more than 10 minutes as he applied the racism protocol. There was more drama late in the game when Benfica coach Jose Mourinho was sent off for complaining too forcefully, meaning he will miss the second leg against his former team at the Santiago Bernabeu next week. In France, defending champions Paris Saint-Germain recovered from a shambolic start as Desiree Doué inspired a comeback from 2 goals down to beat Monaco 3-2. German giants Borussia Dortmund hold the advantage going into the second leg with a clinical 2-0 win over Atalanta. It wasn't a good night for the Italians as Juventus also lost their first leg, falling to Turkish side Galatasaray. Dutch midfielder Noah Lang scored a brace as the Turks thrashed Juve 5-2.
And the weather forecast for this afternoon and tonight: dry with sunny periods in the afternoon, mainly cloudy tonight. It's 22 degrees Celsius, the humidity 52%. The news from RTHK.
Happy Chinese New Year! We're live from Hong Kong. Shout out everyone. Thank you for watching.
喺經歷過一系列嘅改革之後，彈撥樂器更加可以獨立成團，讓作曲家可以譜寫新作。今個星期五下晝2點，我盧思宏再次同你一齊探索當中嘅發展。
year's premier music festival comes to an end with acclaimed musicians joining forces.
We're approaching Western Harbour Tunnel, guys.
Vivaldi's The Four Seasons. The performance features 4 soloists: So-Up Kim, Yura Lee, Angela
Connecting
Chan,
Hong Kong
Stefan
Island and
Jackie,
Kowloon.
reprising how its artistic director, violin virtuoso Cho Lianglin,
Okay.
began his tenure, and bringing the final edition of the festival to a full circle conclusion. Concert on 4 this Friday evening at 8.
Time check 1:15 in the afternoon on the second day of Chinese New Year here in Hong Kong.
Delight in a bite. Tina Ma.
一時之選，把電影。
呢度係香港電台第4台，你好啊，我係馬連影，喺呢度咧先祝你大吉大利，萬事勝意啊！咁啊喺大年初2嘅呢一日咧，我哋一齊聽一啲可愛嘅巴洛克作品啦。其中一段音樂咧就係出自韓德爾嘅賽爾斯嘅，係裏面一段廣為人知嘅宣敘調叫詠嘆調。通常都係最動人嘅詠嘆調都係對愛人或者係對上天所唱。不過呢一首詠嘆調就唔一樣啦，係主角睇到挺立嘅大樹，對大樹讚嘆不絕啦。而呢段嘅選段咧叫做嬌嫩可愛的樹葉，綠樹成蔭，音樂咧係純真而高貴嘅。陣間係交俾女中音迪當拿圖，聯同金蘋果古樂團喺葉梅里亞尼茨夫嘅指揮之下演出啦。咁跟住咧係一首韋華第嘅名作啊，係佢嘅4季裏面嘅 E 大調小提琴協奏曲《春天》，編號 RV 269。第一個樂章啊，鳥聲處處啊，中間嘅慢樂章係一幅田園景象嚟嘅，獨奏小提琴代表嘅牧羊人正喺樹葉聲同狗吠聲當中瞓晏覺，而最後嘅樂章係田園舞曲啦。陣間擔任小提琴獨奏同指揮嘅都係。不過而家咧，我哋先聽一首前奏曲啊，係史嘉爾亞賓創作嘅，編號1首。呢首前奏曲啊，有明顯嘅肖邦影子啊，相當溫柔且不停流動。交俾鋼琴家比列尼俄夫。
Guys, I'm here now in Austin Road.